Co-living is currently illegal in Toronto. Could it be that we're missing an innovative housing model? Co-living is a housing model that is quickly gaining momentum in so many other large cities. Berlin, London, and in the US, you can find it in almost every large city, from New York to Seattle and from San Francisco to Chicago. But not here in Toronto, or at least not yet. Why is that? First, let's make sure we are on the same page and answer the question, what exactly is co-living? People unrelated to one another live together and share common spaces. But co-living is not just about living in a small space and sharing communal areas. At its core is having a social belonging and a sense of community. Co-living also appeals to many different people, from seniors to students and young professionals who are looking for social interaction and more affordable options. So if not in Toronto, where in Canada? In Ontario, there are two projects. The first one in Kitchener, Node, a co-living provider, will soon open a 50-unit co-living space. The second one is by Common, another co-living provider from the US, who is planning a co-living project in Zibi, which is a 15-acre master plan in Ottawa. Now let's get to Toronto. One of the reasons that co-living has been slow to come to Toronto is that practically co-living is illegal in many parts of the city. Co-living falls under the city's definition of multi-tenant housing, which four or more people rent bedrooms and share kitchen and bathrooms. Also commonly referred as rooming housing. They are subject to specific regulations that make the establishment of co-living pretty tricky and hard to achieve. For one, multi-tenant housing is only allowed in very specific areas in the city, and those areas have their own specific restrictions. Some of the areas require a permit or being a licensed operator in order to own a multi-tenant housing. In some other areas, multi-tenant housing are only allowed in buildings that were originally built as either semi or detached houses, so having this housing form. Different areas also have limits on the number of units, in this case 6 to 25. And the list of restrictions goes on and on. But we might have a reason to be optimistic because the City of Toronto is currently reviewing its multi-tenant housing policy. If approved, there will be more of consistent zoning across the city, plus measurements to protect health and safety in multi-tenant houses. The drafted policy, by the way, still limits the type of built form that multi-tenant housing will be allowed, and also in only in certain areas in the city. Either way, this new policy, as we can hope for, could open the door for more co-living options in the city, similar to what we see in Kitchener, in Ottawa, and in other large cities around the world that fight their battle in affordability. And I agree, co-living might not work for everyone, and I don't think it should. However, it's a housing typology that could work for some stages in life, especially in looking for social belongings and a sense of community. And a good planning framework will not dictate what is allowed and what is not, but let people have a choice. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on this topic. Leave a comment below.